All right, all right, all right. My name is Jedi Dave. You will actually catch me on the podcast Destination Hoth, where I co-host with DJ Daddy Rich. And of course, we usually just talk about Star Wars and things like that. We did have one episode on Star Wars: The Old Republic, and that is why we are here today. I am a huge fan of this game. I've been playing since launch, and which doesn't mean that I'm good at it. I'm a terrible gamer, terrible at video games. I still get my ass handed to me by a lot of people in war zones and Galactic Starfighter. But it is a game I love to play. I have a lot of fun with it. It's like chess, right? I like playing chess, but I suck at it. When you're looking at Star Wars: The Old Republic, if you are already an avid player, this is probably not the video for you. What I'm going to do is just kind of go through things and show you how to create a character if you've never created one before. Just at the top here, you're going to see legacy names. For your legacy, that is basically the surname of your character. And so you can have like a legacy built around that. You create family trees. And of course, if you are a Star Wars fan, then you know Star Wars is all about family. And then, of course, with this one, it's so much fun because you can create different species, different character classes, and they can still all be attributed to the same family name. Shand, of course, for those people who are fans of The Mandalorian and The Bad Batch, you will remember that Shand is Fennec Shand, and of course, in The Force Awakens, also Kronkin Shand, who was a member of the Kanja Club, right? Who was going after Han Solo. Huge fan of Fennec Shand, so I wanted to create my legacy out of that. It was, of course, something else originally when I first created the character because there was no Kronkin Shand or Fennec Shand back then. But since then, loved creating those classes, right? So you would then create character. There is different options when you're first creating. You can create a level 70 or a level 75. As far as having there's a specific token that allows you to have that. If you are creating that, I'm going to be creating a video on how to do war zones and things like that. Please watch those. A lot of the new characters that have been able to start off at a high level tend to kind of hold back those other groups in war zones. So if you can just kind of know what it is that you're supposed to be doing and how to do those things, watch that video because it's so important. All right, so you create character. And then, of course, you have to choose your allegiance. Star Wars: The Old Republic. You can actually choose, of course, the Republic, right? There we go. And this is the classic era of the Old Republic, and of course the Sith Empire, not the Galactic Empire to be confused with in the movies. This is 3,000 years before that. So if you're looking forward to rubbing elbows with the Emperor at a some sort of opera, or hanging out with Darth Vader at the cantina, well, sorry, that's not going to happen. So, once again, you can choose dark side or light side regardless of which allegiance you have. If you've ever played Knights of the Republic, you remember that. Even that character that you see there with that lightsaber, that is Satele Shan. She is the daughter, I believe, or granddaughter of Revan. So, I think daughter actually of Revan and Bastila Shan. So pretty cool, actually. Like they still have a pretty close tie. I think it actually is the granddaughter because this is like 300 years after the Knights of the Republic game. So maybe great granddaughter even. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of people choose Republic or Imperial side. Once again, you're going to choose Imperial side because it's a lot more fun. Which isn't necessarily true. The Jedi Guardian storyline, though, is pivotal to other storylines in the game, so you'll have a lot of fun playing that. All right, the Sith, there's different 4 classes, and I'm going to just kind of go over each class, but also outline their counterpart in the Republic side. So the Sith Warrior on the Republic side, that would be the Jedi Knight. The Sith Inquisitor on the Imperials or the Republic side, that would be the Jedi Consular. The Bounty Hunter, right? And on the Republic side, that is the Trooper. And the Imperial Agent. And on the Republic side, that would be a Smuggler, right? So, and then each of those 4 classes then have a subclass. So 2 subclasses actually per initial class. So you have a Sith Marauder. Now the Sith Marauder is always going to be DPS that just does damage. And they use 2 lightsabers. The Jedi side for that is called the Jedi Sentinel, right? Then you've got the Sith Juggernaut, right? You can actually be a DPS, a melee DPS, or a melee tank. and it's a Jedi Guardian on the Republic side. And that only uses one lightsaber, by the way. Right? The Sith Inquisitor or the Sith Sorcerer as a subclass, range DPS or healer, Jedi Sage for the Republic side. Sith Assassin, right? From the Republic side, you're looking at a Jedi Shadow, and they actually have stealth ability. They can actually go invisible using their stealth generator. If you remember Knights of the Republic, that was such a cool thing that you would actually get like right away at the beginning of the game. So if you liked doing that, the Sith Assassin is one of the classes that you can go to. And a Jedi Shadow on the other side. And they're kind of cool too because they're the only class that uses a double-bladed lightsaber. Now keep in mind, if you are not interested in using lightsabers, you can actually use different variations of vibroblades as well throughout the game. If you remember the vibroblades in Knights of the Republic, this is essentially the third Knights of the Republic game, even though it's set 300 years later. So it's still a lot of fun. The Bounty Hunter class, once again, you're looking at it as the Trooper. If you are a fan of The Mandalorian, you're going to love playing the Bounty Hunter. The power tech is a single blaster. You can actually be a tank or range DPS. Some pretty cool abilities for the power tech when it comes to playing in war zones. You got like a grappling hook that you can pull people back and things like that. The mercenary uses two blasters, and both the bounty hunters are running guns, just like the troopers. The power tech variation on the Republic side is the Vanguard. So it's a trooper, and then on the trooper side, it would use just a blaster rifle. And of course, you're using just a single blaster as a bounty hunter. The mercenary uses two blasters. Once again, the commando on the Republic side, the commando uses a huge side cannon, this massive blaster rifle cannon thing. It's basically, if you ever watched the movie Predator, Jesse Ventura's character had like a heavy machine gun. You're looking at something like that. It's pretty cool to watch. If you ever watched the trailers for the Old Republic, Jace Malcolm, one of the troopers, actually tends to use that same cannon. It is a pretty cool weapon to use. And the mercenary, just like the commando, can also be a healer or range DPS. Right? The Vanguard, by the way, can also be, or the power tech can also be a tank. I don't know if I mentioned that. The operative. So the Imperial Agent, the operative is sort of like the stealth characters as well. It can actually go invisible, and it also can be a healer or a range DPS. And then, of course, the Scoundrel, either the smuggler class on the Republic side, and then, of course, the Imperial Agent. This is a sniper, really cool class to use. You can use sniper rifles, pick people off from a long distance. It can be helpful in a war zone for sure, or even in flashpoints or in operations. So when you're looking at the sniper, the smuggler class is the gunslinger, very much like Nico Okar that you see in the trailer, where he's checking out the Twi'lek girl and he's riding. It's actually, you can get the exact same ship, so it's pretty cool. And then, of course, these are all range DPS characters. The snipers are the gunslingers. All fun to play, right? Your next stage, of course, is to create a species or to select a species. Don't get all excited. I mean, I've been playing for a really long time, so as you can see, all of the species are unlocked. And there are certain classes that allow you to choose certain species, and therefore you can finish that storyline, which then subsequently would unlock that species for your entire legacy. So you could create more characters with that species once you've finished that storyline. But whether you're free to play or not, you'll see the ones that always start off unlocked are human, cyborg, and Zabrak. Right? Zabrak is the species of Agent Kolar, Agent Kolar, Darth Maul, of course, and just different places. Like I think Eth Koth actually as well. It was another one. And then of course your cyborgs, Darth Vader, General Grievous, uber cyborg, but Darth Vader is pretty much what you would think of when it comes to cyborg, Lobot, those types of characters. And then of course you have your human, which gives you so much more variation as far as what you can select. So we're just going to start off with human. And of course you can choose female or male. As you know, in Star Wars, both genders are equally important. You know, of course, men and women, and of course, diversity in general is a huge part of Star Wars lore. Going back to 1977, you would, like you would see so many different things and different types of people and different types of races and species, and that's what the world should be like, right? So, uh, once again, like you can choose different ones. So we'll choose a male character here though. And then of course you have 4 different body types. So you have this one, which is a little on the plus side, a little plump, maybe a few too many Krispy Kreme donuts, whatever. Hey, teach his own, right? Donuts are tasty. If that's your thing, then this might be your class. And a lot of times what people want, if they're going to create a character, they might want their character to look a little bit like them so they can feel like they're living vicariously in the Star Wars universe as their character. And so if they're a little on the plus side, maybe they want to do that. This side here is very large guy, muscles. I don't know. I always think of Roadblock from G.I. Joe back in the day. Like this was just your big muscle-bound guy. Really cool to use if you're using a Juggernaut or if you're selecting a so if you select like a Juggernaut or a Commando where you're using that heavy machine gun, it's always kind of cool to see a big character like this. By the way, I selected the Imperial Agent there to create a character. Then you have this is a good in shape guy, muscle bound, not too crazy. And this is thin, pretty typical and fun for like an Imperial Agent or female characters. Like especially when guys are creating female characters, they always try to create a very attractive looking character. So they might create something like this. I mean, teach his own. I actually love all of them. So anyway, you look at the head. And the head gives you so many different options on the human side, more than the alien classes, right? So you have different looks, of course, different skin colors, right? So you can actually go like this, and then you've got like something like that. Then you've got scarring, right? Different scars. I love this scar when you're playing like the smuggler. This gives you that Han Solo type of feel, right? And then you've got different ones like this one right here. Gives you a bit of an Anakin Skywalker type of feel. Some of them are a little crazy. This one gives you maybe an older person. And then you've got complexion, right? Different tanning, things like that can happen maybe out on the battlefield. An older looking man here as well. And of course you get different things as far as scarring and whatnot for whatever it is you're trying to select, whatever you envision your character. Keep in mind, whenever you're starting off your storylines, they typically feel like they're supposed to be younger characters. So I typically don't select older folks. There we go. Then you've got your eye color. There's always, like you can see, the little path here shows that this may not be unlocked for most people, right? So you can choose different eye colors, like these ones here, the white, the yellow, and the pale blue, or the really sharp blue. Those are not available typically right away. You can unlock them through cartel coins, which is usually accumulated through purchasing through real money, or you can earn them in the game by doing different things. Then you've got beards. Some pretty cool different beards. You've got your that whole gunslinger type of feel too when you get something like this going. This is a Van Dyke. They never tell you what they're called here, though. I mean, you just know. I think the goatee. All right, and then of course you've got hair. Right. When you get into I love some of these styles back here. Really cool looking type of thing. Reminds me of Blade. Just a really cool look. And then of course you have hair color. Right. These, once again, anything that's highlighted here, those are not available typically right away. You would have to unlock them. And then of course there's like the skin color. Now whenever you're selecting a name for your character, it has a tendency to be very difficult at this point because the game has been around for almost 10 years. So when you are selecting a name, it's difficult. I have a tendency to either really get creative as far as looking into like old history and things like that, or I just click random. And even when you click random, sometimes it'll still be available. So like you have this one here, and if I click play, you see it's unavailable. So what I will have a do, well, what I have a do, what I have a tendency to do is I will actually just kind of chop off a letter, and then I continue to keep going. All right, let's just go to a different name. I don't really like that one. That one's taken. That one's taken. So as you can see, it is pretty difficult at this point. And of course, like nothing is available. There we go. That one's available. No one wanted that name. All right. And then you're ready to play Star Wars. All right. There you go. Take care. Have fun. Happy hunting.